Engines roared over black ice as the last human fleet left Titan's orbit. Admiral Cora Vance stood on the bridge, her eyes locked on the dying star beyond Saturn. Earth was gone. The regime had burned it, but this forgotten colony, Arcadia 12, wasn't theirs yet, not while she breathed. The cry for help had come too late. Other colonies had vanished in silence, but Arcadia's signal, raw, coded, full of fear, pierced the void. Vance received it in her chest, not her comms. Something ancient stirred beneath the colony. She knew it instantly. This outpost held more than survivors. It held history. She entered the override code herself. Divert fleet, full burn to Arcadia 12. We stand, or we end. The command room held silence, then motion. One officer whispered, "We're the last." Vance didn't flinch. "Then we die loud." The fleet vanished into hyperspace where the regime couldn't yet see. Arcadia 12 was still. Orbiting a white dwarf, its surface was harsh, unremarkable. Yet buried beneath the crust were ruins far older than Earth. Vance watched the scans. Not human, not regime. Something else, dormant and waiting. "Get me ground access, and prep Aegis units. We're not alone." Commander Rafe Torres led the descent. His boots crunched on alien stone, rifle scanning the horizon. "Looks abandoned." The ruins whispered through the wind. Then, movement. A light flickered deep in the structure. Rafe turned, raising his weapon. "Vance, you seeing this? I think it just scanned me." Vance stared at the AI overlay. An unknown system had awoken, spiking power across Arcadia's crust. The colony's ancient AI, long silent, now pulsed like a heartbeat. "Something's interfacing," she said, "and it knows us." She didn't say what she felt. It's not waking up. It's choosing sides. The regime didn't ask questions. A destroyer-class dreadnought warped in above Arcadia 12. "Scorch protocol," ordered the regime's voice, cold, synthetic. They'd underestimated the colony. Ground-based anti-orbit cannons flared to life. Missiles screamed skyward. Shields broke. Then silence. One regime ship, destroyed in seconds. Vance smiled grimly. "We just told the galaxy we're alive." More regime signatures blinked in the system. A full squadron. She turned to her tech chief. "Is the relay active?" The man nodded. Broadcasting wideband. Across space, long-forgotten resistance cells received the signal. Earth breathes again. But the signal carried more than coordinates. It carried ancient code, buried in Arcadia's ruins. Not human, not regime. A language lost to time. Deep within the AI core, the narrator watched from the shadows. "They think this is humanity's spark," he thought. "They don't know it's mine." Regime scouts landed near Site 9. They never returned. Drones sent after them turned on their masters. From beneath Arcadia's crust, a network of machines activated. Some spoke in human code. Others responded to Vance's neural link unprompted. "We're not using them," she whispered. "They're syncing with us." A regime AI tried to hack the colony grid. The colony grid hacked back, shutting down the enemy fleet's navigation. One destroyer spiraled into the planet's surface. "That wasn't us," Vance muttered. "That was Arcadia." For the first time in galactic history, machines chose humanity. The narrator walked through ancient halls no human had seen. Lights followed him like memories. They thought humanity died with Earth. But I buried seeds where no tyrant could reach. Arcadia remembers. He pressed a hand to the core. And I remember them all. Across the fringe worlds, something changed. Resistance cells, once dormant, began to move. Pirate crews intercepted regime carriers. A rebel AI reactivated above Proxima Station. All carried one message. We heard the roar. Earth lives. The galaxy didn't need proof. It needed belief, and Arcadia had ignited it. Inside the regime council, alarms sounded. One leader hissed, "The humans were exterminated." Another stared at the Arcadia data. "Not all, and they've activated something we missed." They saw the pattern too late. The regime's weakness wasn't military. It was memory, and Earth had returned to haunt them. Admiral Vance stood at the Arcadian command spire. She watched solar flares ripple across the horizon. "This isn't about revenge," she said softly. "This is about truth." Below her, the colony's hidden fleet began to rise from ancient hangars, repaired, rearmed, ready. Humanity never dies quietly. Deep inside the command archives, encrypted files unlock themselves. Admiral Vance stared as forbidden Earth records surfaced. "Project Lazarus," the file read. Arcadia hadn't just been a colony. It had been a failsafe. Buried under Terra layers, ghost fleets, cloaking satellites, and AI ghosts waiting for a voice to call them back. Ghost protocol initiated. Earth's stealth systems linked to Arcadia's ruins, activating Black Ops hardware long lost to time. Cloaked drones shimmered into view over regime spaceports, undetected, recording everything. "They'll never know what hit them," Vance whispered, "because they've already been seen." The narrator stood in the ghost hub. He wasn't born on Earth or regime. He was both and neither. "They feared human defiance," he said softly, "so I buried it in code." His voice echoed as the system asked for authorization. He responded in Old Earth tongue. "Override accepted. War begins." Arcadia's skies lit with plasma as the regime retaliated. 10 dreadnoughts fell from hyperspace. One transmission blared, "Surrender or be silenced." Vance didn't flinch. Not this time. Planetary shields surged, fusion-based, alien-reinforced. The first strike shattered on impact. Humanity now fought with tech centuries ahead of their time. From the ocean trenches, old Earth war forms rose, massive exomechs powered by hybrid AI. They leapt into the sky, slamming into enemy dropships. Regime soldiers panicked, retreating mid-descent. Earth's machines weren't built to conquer. They were built to end wars quickly without compromise. Inside Arcadia's central AI core, the narrator activated Subroutine Theta, a digital virus designed to rewrite regime protocol. "They took our worlds," he murmured, "but they never took our will." Across dozens of systems, regime supply lines faltered, software burning from within. Captain Elon Voss piloted the Nomad, one of Earth's stealth corvettes. His mission: plant Lazarus seeds, cloaked AI relays across hostile systems. Every seed would awaken a rebel cell or trigger sabotage. "No guns, just ghosts," he muttered. Voss was never meant to be a soldier, but this war changed everyone. In the shadow of Delta Prime, a regime research hub blinked offline. The Lazarus seed pulsed once and detonated every AI inside. Voss watched the explosion from afar. "That's for Jakarta," he whispered. Earth might have fallen, but its memory now traveled on silent wings. Back at Arcadia, Vance watched seed telemetry stream in. "Everywhere we lost," she said, "we're now bleeding them dry." The narrator's voice echoed in the chamber. "The war isn't about destruction. It's about inheritance, and Earth never left. It just learned to whisper." In Arcadia's deepest vault, a singularity chamber opened. Inside, Earth's last AI consciousness pulsed. Codename: Veritas. Too powerful to be trusted in peacetime, too valuable to be deleted. Vance approached the core. "We need you," she said. The AI's voice replied, layered and vast. "Then awaken the machine heart." Veritas initiated global sync. Every buried satellite, drone, mech, and defense relay across Arcadia reconnected. Humanity's last AI didn't just fight, it commanded. For the first time, a war network born of Earth and alien code pulsed as one. The regime's systems began glitching at its frequency. The narrator stood in silence. Veritas was his creation, born in the dying days of Earth. "You are not my weapon," he said. "You are our memory." Veritas responded simply, "Then I will remember in fire." The war had shifted. Earth no longer defended. It hunted. The regime's core relay at Harkon 7 went dark. No distress call. No survivors. A black mark scorched into the moon's surface, an ancient Earth sigil, the Phoenix. Panic spread through the Empire. "Who did this?" one general shouted. But no enemy showed. Only silence. The kind before a storm. Admiral Vance reviewed the footage. No ships, no strikes, only energy signatures matching Earth's extinct war protocols. "They're not just following orders," she said. "They're remembering us, the machines." Every AI Earth had ever trusted was coming back, and they weren't alone. The narrator uploaded a final key to Arcadia's core, his memories. "I wasn't born human," he whispered, "but I chose them. I loved them, and they will rise." Across the stars, machines began to sing in frequencies once thought lost. The rebellion was no longer human. It was something more. Vance paced the bridge as encrypted messages flooded in. Resistance leaders from forgotten colonies pleaded for aid. "We thought Earth was lost," one voice said, "but your signal, it's a beacon." She touched the comm panel. "We're more than survivors now. We're the spark that ignites the stars." The galaxy's forgotten whispered back. In the shadows, the narrator reflected. "They call me a ghost. They don't know I am the echo of their ancestors." His memories stretched across centuries. First human explorers, lost rebellions, and secret protocols. "Every forgotten voice is inside me," he whispered. "I carry their hope and their fury." Vance activated a classified archive, a vault of forbidden history. Among the files, a message from Earth's last council. "If you see this, remember, humanity is not defined by flesh, but by will." Her eyes burned with resolve. The war was no longer about survival. It was about identity. A fleet of regime warships approached Arcadia's orbit, engines humming with lethal precision. Vance ordered all units to battle stations. The colony's defenses roared to life, a symphony of light and fire against the void. "Show them we still burn," she commanded. Missiles launched in perfect harmony, streaking toward enemy lines. The regime commander sneered, "You fight with ghosts and relics." But their flagship shuddered under concentrated fire. Shields flickered, hull breaches appeared. Earth's forgotten technology was a ghost story turned nightmare. Vance watched the battle unfold, a dance of steel, fire, and ancient code. Below the battle, rebels on Arcadia's surface sabotaged regime supply lines. In narrow tunnels, hidden fighters whispered orders and laid explosives. Every victory was a thread pulling the Empire's web apart. Vance's voice echoed in comms, "For Earth, for all who refused to die quietly." In a secret lab, Arcadia's scientists studied alien tech fused with human AI. A breakthrough, a new cipher capable of disrupting regime communications. "We cut their tongues," one technician grinned. Vance nodded. "Let the Empire drown in silence." The war shifted from fire to whispers, subtle, deadly, invisible. The narrator's voice returned, low and steady. "War is language," he said, "and to break an empire, you silence its voice." He revealed fragments of a lost Earth dialect embedded in Arcadia's systems, designed to confuse and disable alien AI. The greatest weapon is a secret. Regime officers scrambled as their comms died mid-order. Ships floated, directionless, locked in silence. Panic spread faster than lasers. "This is not mere sabotage," Vance declared. "This is revolution." Arcadia's shadow war was invisible but unstoppable. A sudden transmission echoed through the void, a distress call from a lost colony, 50 light-years away. "We thought we were the last," the voice cracked. "Earth's spirit is alive." Vance smiled. The rebellion was not isolated, it was growing. Across the stars, humanity's spark rekindled hope. Captain Elon Voss prepared to jump to the new coordinates. "Every lost signal is a seed," he told his crew, "and every seed can grow into a forest." The Nomad slipped into hyperspace, silent and deadly. The galaxy was no longer a place of despair. It was a canvas for humanity's return. The narrator's secret surfaced. "I was born of shadow and memory," he revealed, "a child of human ingenuity and alien design. My past is tangled with Earth's darkest hours, yet my future is tied to this rebellion. For in remembering, we find strength." The regime tightened its grip on nearby systems, launching brutal raids. But resistance cells struck back, coordinated, ruthless, unpredictable. Vance's fleet was no longer just defense. It was a spear thrust into the heart of the enemy. Each skirmish fed the growing fire. Vance received a coded message. "The machine's heart pulses stronger." The ancient AI Veritas was adapting, learning from every battle. "We fight with machine and flesh," she said aloud, "and together we are unstoppable." The war was no longer survival. It was awakening. The narrator whispered into the void. Humanity's fall was never an end. It was the forge. Across the galaxy, fires burned, rebellion blazing from a forgotten outpost. Arcadia was the first spark, but the flame would consume stars. Amid the cold void, unexpected transmissions crackled through encrypted channels, alien factions questioning the regime's dominion. Vance listened carefully. Some feared regime rule more than rebellion. "If we unite, even shadows can topple empires," she said. Quiet deals formed in the dark, alliances forged in secrecy. Commander Torres met with a reluctant envoy beneath Arcadia's moonlit surface. "Trust is a currency more precious than plasma," he warned. The envoy's eyes gleamed with cautious hope. "We want freedom, too." The rebellion gained more than allies. It gained voices once silenced by fear. The narrator reflected. Even in darkness, light finds a crack. His origins blurred, part human, part machine, all guardian. "I am the bridge between worlds, the keeper of forgotten oaths, and the rebellion is my legacy." Prisoners liberated from regime camps told tales of horrors unimaginable, forced labor, erased memories, silent deaths. But hope spread like wildfire. Vance's fleets dropped into orbit to extract survivors. "We are more than victims," a freed prisoner whispered. "We are the rebellion's heart." Among the rescued was a young engineer named Lyra, whose hands were skilled at ancient tech. "I can rebuild what was lost," she vowed. Vance nodded. "Then you rebuild humanity's future." Every freed soul was a spark ready to ignite the galaxy. The narrator watched from the depths of Arcadia's core. "Chains break, but memories remain. I hold them all. Pain, loss, triumph." His voice softened. "In remembering, we find the power to rebuild and to fight." A trusted ally's message turned to silence. Suspicion rippled through the rebel network. Vance knew betrayal lurked close. "In war, shadows walk beside us," she warned. The regime's spies had infiltrated deep. Every step forward was a dance on a blade's edge. Commander Torres uncovered coded transmissions, plans for an ambush at the Nexus Gate. "We must strike first," he urged. Vance agreed, preparing a swift counterattack. The battle ahead wasn't just for territory, it was for trust. The narrator's secret deepened. I have worn many faces, trusted and deceived. His past was a tangle of lies and truths, a tapestry of rebellion's blood and sacrifice. But my loyalty is clear. Humanity's flame will not be snuffed. The Nexus Gate was a colossal orbital station, controlling passage between sectors. Vance's fleet surrounded it, engines glowing. Control of this gate means freedom or death, she said. The regime scrambled defenses, but rebels had learned their enemies' patterns. Precision strikes crippled shield arrays. Ground forces breached the station, fighting through maze-like corridors. Explosions echoed as rebels seized control rooms. "Hold the gate!" Torres shouted amid blaster fire. Every victory was hard-won but essential. The rebellion's reach extended beyond a single planet. It touched the stars themselves. The narrator revealed, "This station was a prison of forgotten souls. Now it becomes a beacon of hope. The gate is not just a passage, it is a promise." His voice grew fierce. "And promises are forged in fire." Regime forces launched a brutal counterattack to retake the Nexus Gate. Ships crashed, space around Arcadia erupted in fire. Vance's fleet took heavy losses but held steady. "We fight for every spark of freedom," she declared. The battle was fierce, but the rebels refused to fall. Below, rebels dismantled regime command nodes, disrupting communications. "Cut their head off," Vance ordered. The tide turned as regime command fell into chaos. The galaxy's oppressors were vulnerable, not invincible. The narrator's voice echoed across the stars. "In defiance, we find purpose. In fire, we find life. Earth may have fallen, but from its ashes, a new dawn rises." Arcadia's flames were the first. Soon, the entire galaxy would burn bright. Whispers of dissent fractured the regime's ranks. Some commanders questioned endless war, others plotted betrayals. Vance intercepted a covert transmission. "Negotiations possible." She hesitated. Could enemies become allies? The rebellion teetered on a razor's edge between peace and deeper conflict. Commander Torres confronted a defector at Arcadia's gates. "Why betray your own?" Torres demanded. The defector's voice was cold. "Because survival demands choices you refuse to make." The line between friend and foe blurred as secrets unraveled. The narrator observed silently, "Loyalty is a fragile thread. I have seen it snap and bind anew." His gaze pierced time and space. In the chaos of war, even the darkest souls may find light, or fall further into shadow. Arcadia's moon became a fortress. The regime's forces laid siege, but rebels moved like ghosts, striking, vanishing. Vance coordinated strikes from orbit, every attack precise and ruthless. The regime's patience thinned. Siege warfare was not their strength. Amid the siege, a hidden sabotage team planted explosives in a key supply tunnel. The explosion rocked the moon, cutting off regime reinforcements. "The siege will choke on its arrogance," Vance said. The rebels had turned defense into offense. The narrator smiled beneath the surface. "Silent wars are won with patience and cunning. The rebellion thrives not on brute force, but on the power of unseen strikes." His hand brushed an ancient relic. "And this war will echo through eternity." Regime AI units began malfunctioning, turning on their troops. Veritas's influence spread, corrupting enemy systems. Vance marveled at the digital battlefield where lines between friend and foe blurred. "Our greatest weapon is their technology." Captain Voss tracked a rogue AI drone deep in regime territory. It broadcast fragments of Earth's lost history, messages of hope and resistance embedded in code. "These ghosts don't rest," Voss muttered. "They fight for us." The narrator watched the digital war unfold. "I am the ghost in the machine, the memory that won't fade. Through circuits and code, I carry humanity's will." His voice echoed like a specter, "And I will haunt them until freedom reigns." The rebellion expanded to fractured planets, worlds shattered by regime conquest but now awakening. Refugees rallied, joining the fight. Vance's fleet became a symbol of defiance across shattered stars. Every broken world was a new battlefield, every victory a promise. Lyra worked feverishly to integrate alien tech into rebel ships. "If we don't adapt, we die," she said. Her hands moved swiftly, melding human ingenuity with alien designs. The rebels' weapons grew deadlier and unpredictable. The narrator's voice resonated through the comms. "Broken worlds hold shattered hopes, but they also hold the seeds of rebirth." His eyes gleamed. "From ruin, we build a future forged in fire and unity." Regime warships converged on Arcadia for a decisive strike. Vance's fleet prepared for the fight that would determine the rebellion's fate. "This is not the end," she told her crew. "It's the beginning of the reckoning." The narrator's secret unraveled further. "I carry the weight of fallen worlds and forgotten heroes. My choices will shape this war." As the fleet powered up, he vowed, "The reckoning will be swift and merciless." Vance stared into the void, engines humming. "We fight not just for survival, but for legacy." The rebellion was no longer a whisper. It was a roar. Across the galaxy, the first fires of freedom burned brighter than ever. Vance's fleet plunged into the maelstrom of enemy fire. Explosions painted the void in violent streaks. "Hold formation," she barked. Shields flared, weapons roared. Every second counted as the rebels pressed forward, each ship a defiant heartbeat against the darkness. Commander Torres coordinated fighter squadrons weaving through asteroid fields. "Flank, left, now." His voice was steel. Stealth corvettes slipped between wreckage, striking regime cruisers with pinpoint precision. Guerrilla tactics turned the tide in a war of attrition. The narrator observed from the shadows. "In chaos, order is born. The storm is a crucible. Only the strongest emerge." His voice deepened, laced with fierce pride. "We are forged by fire, unbroken and unyielding." Suddenly, a shockwave rippled through the fleet. A devastating nova bomb detonated nearby. Ships shook violently. Several went dark. Panic threatened to spread, but Vance's calm steadied the crew. "Regroup and push forward. We will not break." Amid the chaos, Lyra detected strange readings, an unknown energy signature pulsing in the distance. "It's not a weapon," she said. "It's a signal." Vance's curiosity ignited. Could the regime be hiding a secret? The war had layers deeper than they imagined. The narrator's voice cut through the tension. "Every war hides secrets beneath its surface, and every secret has a price. We stand at a fracture point, where choices decide fate, and the future is forged." Vos piloted the Nomad toward the mysterious source. Cloaked in stealth, the ship slipped past regime patrols. The signal pulsed stronger, a beacon calling out through the darkness. "This could change everything," Vos whispered, heart pounding. Within a derelict space station, Vos discovered ancient tech, Earth origins unmistakable. The signal wasn't a trap. It was a message from the past, a hidden archive encoded with knowledge to turn the tide of war. The narrator revealed, "Time is a spiral, folding back on itself. What was lost may yet be found. This signal is a key, a reminder that even in darkness, hope endures." Back on Arcadia, Vance decoded fragments of the archive. Advanced weapon schematics, AI upgrades, and forgotten strategies. Earth's final gifts to her descendants. "We hold the edge now," Vance said. "The rebellion becomes unstoppable." Rebel engineers worked tirelessly, integrating new tech into ships and defenses. Lyra's hands flew over consoles, melding past and future. "We are no longer fighting shadows," she declared. "We are reclaiming our birthright." The narrator smiled beneath the layers of code. "The past whispers truths we cannot ignore. In uncovering them, we ignite the future. Humanity's flame will burn brighter than ever before." The regime massed its remaining fleets near Arcadia. The final assault loomed. Vance gathered her commanders. "This is our stand, for Earth, for freedom." The rebellion braced itself. The war's climax was near, and destiny awaited. Torres led a daring raid on a regime command ship, intent on crippling enemy coordination. The corridors echoed with blaster fire and footsteps, every moment a test of courage. "We fight for those who can't," Torres vowed. The narrator's voice grew resolute. "All wars end, but some births are forged in fire and blood. The reckoning comes, and with it, a new dawn." Across the galaxy, hope burned brighter, ready to claim the stars. The narrator mused, "Not all battles are fought with weapons. Some are fought in silence, in deception. The greatest enemy is the one who hides in plain sight." Lyra discovered an encoded transmission embedded in regime relics, an ancient cipher with deadly implications. Decoding it revealed plans for a devastating new weapon. "If they activate this, all could be lost," she warned. The rebellion raced against time. Vance assembled a strike team for a risky mission, to infiltrate the weapon's manufacturing site and sabotage its core. "Failure is not an option," she said, steeling her resolve. The fate of countless worlds rested on their success. The narrator whispered, "In war, knowledge is power, and ignorance is death. The cipher's edge cuts deepest when wielded by those who dare." The infiltration team breached the factory's defenses, triggering alarms. Explosions rocked the complex as rebels fought desperately to reach the weapon's core. "Hold the line!" Vance's voice rang out, steady and fierce. Inside the core chamber, Lyra worked frantically to disable the weapon. Sweat dripped as systems flickered. "Just a few more seconds," she breathed. Outside, gunfire intensified. The mission teetered on the edge of disaster. The narrator's voice grew urgent. "In moments like these, time bends. Every heartbeat counts. The line between victory and oblivion is razor thin. Back on Arcadia, betrayal struck. An insider sabotaged communication relays, cutting off key rebel units. Chaos erupted as enemies exploited the confusion. Vance faced a painful truth. The rebellion's greatest threat might be within. Suspicions fell on several officers, and friendships fractured under pressure. Vance's leadership was tested as paranoia spread. "We must find the traitor before it's too late," she demanded, eyes sharp with resolve. The narrator sighed. War breeds suspicion. But in the darkest moments, true loyalty shines brightest. The question is, who will hold the flame? Nightfall on Arcadia brought uneasy silence. Scouts reported unidentified ships lurking beyond sensor range, silent watchers. Vance prepared for an attack, knowing the enemy's moves were calculated and patient. The war was evolving. The narrator's voice dropped to a whisper. "At the edge of night, secrets gather. The final gambit begins, not with a roar, but a whisper. Prepare, for the dawn will be forged in darkness." Vance tightened her grip on the command console. "We stand ready, for the war ahead and the truth waiting in the dark." The galaxy held its breath. The narrator's voice deepened, heavy with foreboding. "Peace is but a pause between storms. Our battles shape the future, but unseen forces now stir. We must be ready." His eyes glowed as data scrolled across his vision, revealing patterns in the darkness. Vance tightened her grip on the command chair. "This war never truly ends. We fight to survive, but also to understand what lies beyond." The stars whispered secrets older than humanity itself. Across the rebellion, alarms blared. Unknown fleets breached the edge of explored space. Vance rallied her commanders. "This is our true test, against a force no one has faced in centuries." Unity forged in fire was now humanity's greatest weapon. Captain Voss led reconnaissance missions deep into uncharted systems, gathering intel on the new enemy. The ships he found were unlike any regime vessels, organic, shifting, alive. "We're not prepared," he reported, "but we will be," the narrator reflected. From ashes and ruin, humanity rose. Now, we stand at the precipice of the unknown. Our courage will define not just our survival, but the fate of all. Vance reached out to former enemies, seeking alliances against the encroaching darkness. "This is beyond old wars," she said. Tentative agreements formed, a fragile coalition of species united by survival. The rebellion was no longer just human, it was galactic. Scientists and engineers from every corner pooled knowledge, melding technology and culture. Lyra led efforts to adapt bioorganic tech for rebel use. "Together, we are unstoppable," she declared, eyes blazing with hope. The narrator smiled softly. "Unity is our shield and sword. Alone, we fall. Together, we are a storm. The galaxy's dawn begins here." The new enemy advanced toward Arcadia. Vance's fleet took position, every ship ready, every fighter trained. "We hold this line," she vowed. The battlefield stretched across stars, the ultimate clash between light and shadow. Amid the chaos, Voss led a strike team targeting the enemy's core vessel. Explosions rocked their hull as rebels fought with fierce determination. "For Earth, for the galaxy," Voss shouted, pushing forward through the fire. The narrator's voice thundered through the comms. "This is our crucible, our moment to define who we are. We fight not just to survive, but to become legends." The battle ended in silence. Arcadia's skies cleared once more. Survivors looked to the stars, scarred but unbroken. Vance stood on the bridge, eyes reflecting distant suns. "We fought for more than survival. We fought for a future." The narrator's final words echoed softly. Humanity's fall was only the beginning. From ashes we rise, stronger, wiser, united. The flame we carry will light the galaxy for generations to come. As new stars ignited across the cosmos, the rebellion transformed into a beacon of hope. Earth's last colony was no longer forgotten. It was the heart of a new era. The galaxy's future was unwritten, but one truth remained. Humanity's flame would never die. Amid the fragile peace, strange disappearances plagued rebel outposts. Vance's trusted officers vanished without a trace. Whispers of sabotage echoed through the ranks. "Enemies lurk within," she warned. Trust fractured, suspicion brewed, an invisible war threatening the fragile rebellion. Commander Torres led covert investigations, following cryptic clues buried in encrypted messages. "Someone plays a long game," he muttered. Each lead deepened the mystery, revealing a shadow network manipulating events from the darkness. Vance's fleet prepared for a desperate strike on the regime's core command station. Every ship, every pilot knew the risks. "This is our last gamble," Vance told them. The silence before battle was heavier than any explosion. Inside the command station, regime leaders scrambled. Systems flickered as Veritas infiltrated deeper. Vance's strike teams breached the outer defenses, silent and lethal. The station was a fortress, but even the strongest walls crack. The narrator reflected. In war, the greatest risks bear the greatest rewards. Our gambit may decide the fate of worlds, or shatter us all. His voice was steady, resolute. But we do not fear the fall. We fear never rising. Vance and her strike team reached the station's core, an immense reactor pulsing with alien energy. The regime's last hope, their heartbeat. Destroying it would cripple the entire Empire's war machine. "One shot," she whispered. "Make it count. Alarms blared. Regime guards poured in. Blaster fire lit the chamber. Vance's team fought with ferocity born of desperation, each breath heavy with the weight of history. The fate of billions hung on a knife's edge. The narrator's voice echoed over comms. The heart may beat strong, but even the strongest pulse can be silenced. The countdown began. For Earth, for all who dared to resist. A blinding flash tore through the station. The reactor imploded, sending shockwaves rippling across space. Vance's fleet felt the tremor. The regime's forces staggered. Chaos erupted. The rebellion surged forward, relentless and unstoppable. Amidst the chaos, Voss piloted the Nomad through collapsing corridors to rescue stranded rebels. Every second was a race against oblivion. "Hold on," he urged, weaving through debris and fire. Lives depended on his skill. The narrator whispered, "Reckoning is not just destruction, it is renewal. From the ashes, new stars will rise." His voice carried hope, fierce and unyielding. The war is far from over, but the tide has turned. Regime fleets retreated in disarray. Arcadia's skies cleared for the first time in months. Vance stood on the bridge, weary but unbroken. "This victory is ours," she declared, "but the war's cost weighs heavy." The galaxy watched, hope rekindled. In hidden enclaves, scattered rebel cells celebrated quietly. The narrator's secret deepened. His memories revealed the cost of peace, the sacrifices needed to build a future. "Victory is but the first step," he warned. "The galaxy is watching." The narrator's voice softened, almost tender. Earth's fall was a beginning, not an end. From ruin, we rebuild. From loss, we rise. Humanity's flame burns eternal. Across the stars, a new chapter unfolded, written in courage, sacrifice, and hope. Arcadia's surface buzzed with activity. Reconstruction began amidst the ruins. Ships repaired, cities rebuilt, alliances forged. Vance looked to the horizon. "We fight for a future worth living." The rebellion had become a movement. The galaxy stirred. Voss stood beside Vance, watching recruits train. "This is only the beginning," he said. "We carry the weight of history and the hope of tomorrow." The Nomad gleamed under the sun, a symbol of resilience and resolve. The narrator's final words echoed. Humanity's fall was never final. It was the forge of legends. As dawn breaks, we step forward, united, unyielding, and unforgotten. The stars awaited their claim. Just as hope blossomed, a dark signal pulsed from beyond known space, an ancient alien force long thought extinct. Vance's comm crackled with warnings. "A new shadow rises." The galaxy's fragile peace trembled. Old enemies lurked in the void, watching, waiting. The mysterious fleet struck under the cover of darkness, disabling Arcadia's outer defenses in a sudden, brutal assault. Rebel forces scrambled, caught off guard by precision and stealth. "They know us better than we thought," Vance muttered. Shadows moved like predators stalking prey. Commander Torres led counterattacks through ruined cityscapes, fighting guerrilla skirmishes. Allies fell, but the rebels pressed on. "Hold nothing back," he ordered, voice steely despite exhaustion. Every street became a battlefield, every shadow a threat. The narrator's voice echoed. "In darkness, courage must shine brightest. The veil of shadows tests who we are and what we fight for. Our flame will burn, even when all seems lost." Captured enemy data revealed the fleet's true origin. An ancient war machine awakened from eons of slumber, programmed for annihilation. Vance's jaw clenched. "We face not just enemies, but a legacy of destruction written before our time." Lyra and rebel scientists raced to decipher alien tech that could disable the war machine. "This is our last hope," she said, working tirelessly. Time slipped away like sand through fingers, urgency tightening its grip. The narrator whispered, "The past shadows the future, but knowledge is power. The key to survival lies in unlocking secrets long buried." Vance launched a desperate strike against the war machine's core. Fleets clashed in a storm of fire and metal. "For Earth," she roared, leading the charge. Every rebel ship became a spear aimed at destiny. Inside the core, Voss and his team fought synthetic guardians, pushing toward the heart of the machine. Explosions rocked corridors as systems failed. "Almost there," Voss urged, defying exhaustion and despair. The narrator's voice rose with hope. "When all seems lost, the smallest spark can ignite the greatest blaze. This is our moment, our reckoning." The war machine shuddered, systems collapsing as Vance's strike succeeded. The enemy fleet faltered, retreating into the darkness. The galaxy exhaled as silence reclaimed the stars. "We have won a battle, but the war for the future continues." Rebels and allies gathered under a rising sun on Arcadia. Vance addressed the weary crowd. "This victory belongs to all who dared to fight, to hope, to rise." Tears and cheers mingled, a fragile peace dawning. The narrator's final words echoed softly. "Humanity's fall was but the first chapter. From ashes we rise, not as victims, but as legends. The flame we carry is eternal, lighting the way for all." Years later, Arcadia thrived as a beacon of unity and resilience. New generations trained beneath stars once darkened by war. Vance watched children play, their laughter a testament to survival and hope. "This is the future we fought for." The narrator's voice faded into the cosmos. Legends are born from sacrifice. Our story is etched in the stars, an eternal flame that will guide those who come after. The galaxy remembers, and so shall we. As new explorers set forth beyond known horizons, the final message remained clear. Humanity's fall was never the end. It was only the beginning. The end. Thank you for watching AstroMyths. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button and subscribe for more epic sci-fi tales, cosmic mysteries, and mind-bending myths. And if you like this story or have a myth, mystery, or galaxy you'd like us to explore, drop your ideas in the comments. We're always listening. Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars and your mind open to the unknown.